Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 328 based on novel. So let's start. Wang Lin and Master Yi Chen just sat there while silently drinking their own bottles of wine. Sometimes they would look at the red sky in the distance while the heat waves rolled by. Dead. Third brother is dead and second brother's origin soul dissipated. Master Yi Chen bitterly drank a mouthful of wine and threw it on the side. The three Chen brothers. I'm now the only one left. Wang Lin silently pondered as he took a drink of wine. He softly said, "Back then, I shouldn't have asked the three of you to go with me." Master Yi Chen suddenly turned to look at Wang Lin with a ferocious expression filled with hatred. Wang Lin silently looked back at Master Yi Chen. The two stared at each other for a very long time. The ferociousness on Master Yi Chen's face gradually dissipated and became bleak. Then he said to Linger behind him, "Linger, go get more wine." He then turned around and looked at the fiery red world. Cultivators go against the heavens. Since we walk on this path of no return, it is inevitable that we will disappear someday. This I understand. When you invited the three of us to the demon spirit land, you didn't force us, we all volunteered. This I also understand. Master Yi Chen had a bitter expression as he looked at the scattered wine jugs around him. He picked up a few to find them empty. Wang Lin silently handed the wine in his hand to Master Yi Chen. Master Yi Chen took a big gulp, and tears flowed down his eyes as he muttered, "I hate myself for my cultivation level being too low. I hate that I have no way to resurrect my two brothers. I hate that I'm unable to get revenge and have wronged the both of them." At this moment, Linger brought wine from the city. Her eyes were red as she gently placed the wine jugs next to Master Yi Chen. Wang Lin picked up a wine jug and drank an entire jug in one gulp. His eyes revealed a decisively gaze as he said, "Master Yi Chen, I'm responsible for this matter. If I had not taken the three of you, then such a tragedy would not have occurred. The person who killed your brothers is Ancient Devil Ta Jiao. It won't be long before you can personally kill Ancient Devil Ta Jiao and get revenge for your brothers." Master Yi Chen's body trembled as he looked at Wang Lin with excitement in his eyes. "Is this true? This is my promise to you." Wang Lin placed the wine jug on the ground and looked into the distance. It was as if he was remembering something, and he slowly said, "Life and death fills one's life. Once you have seen through it, you will get through it. Your two brothers still have you to remember them. Cultivators like us are often meet with life and death situations. How many cultivators die each time? How many people will remember them, and how many will even be remembered? After stepping on this abnormal road, we must see through life and death. We must see through our own life and death and others' lives and deaths as well. When I sent the ashes of an old friend back to his hometown, I once heard a nursery rhyme from a child. The apricot tree blooms white flowers. The daughter won't be taken by a Daoist family. Last year, Lang the second went up the mountain, and a year later, Lang the first was a bag of bones. The cry of the daughter accompanies the dead but takes the coffin as family. The apricot tree blooms white flowers and children shouldn't be taken by Taoists. If asked about my age, I still haven't found my Tao. The dog barks, the cat scratches, scaring the Daoist back home." A little nursery rhyme was able to point out the sadness of us cultivators. Master Yi Chen, see through it. Once you've seen through it, your pain will lessen. Wang Lin's voice was calm, but it was filled with powerful melancholy. After leaving these words, he stood up and left. His figure looked even more bleak and lonely than Master Yi Chen's. Master Yi Chen stared at Wang Lin's figure as Wang Lin's words echoed in his mind. Seeing Wang Lin leaving, he stood up and shouted, "Have you seen through it?" In the distance, Wang Lin trembled and stopped. He didn't look back, but after pondering for a long time, he softly said, "I haven't seen thought it." With a hint of bitterness, Wang Lin turned into a ray of light and flew off into the sky. Time slowly passed. After Wang Lin left Master Yi Chen, he sat down next to the volcano. Scenes of the past slowly replayed in his mind. He wasn't able to see through life and death, so he had to endure more than 1,000 years of pain and loneliness. He would still need to continue enduring it. He struggled with this pain in his heart as he walked down the vast road of cultivation with no end in sight. Aside from the sizzling sounds from the black smoke rising from the volcano, there was also sound of the fire burning. Aside from that, everything was completely silent. As Wang Lin silently sat in this silence, there was a coffin before him. This coffin was made of crystal, and there was a woman inside it. Her skin was clear and she didn't look dead at all. Instead, she looked as if she was sleeping. This woman didn't have the beauty to shock the world or a temperament that could ruin entire cities. However, in Wang Lin's eyes, even the most gorgeous girl couldn't compare to the woman inside the coffin at all. Wang Lin's right hand gently rubbed the coffin, and his eyes were gentle. As he looked at the woman in the coffin, he felt as if he had returned to planet Suzaku. Wang Lin was still unable to see through life and death. At this moment, it was as if nothing else in the world remained. The only thing left was him and the woman inside the coffin. He felt loneliness as he silently looked at the woman that had accompanied him for over 1,000 years. Then Wang Lin gradually found a glimmer of warmth. Although this warmth was small, it integrated into Wang Lin's origin soul. It was like an illusion from the other side of the river that might disappear at any time, but you still refused to look away, even if that river was life and death. The woman inside the coffin had been Wang Lin's only hope for more than 1,000 years of cultivation. As he stared at the woman, he seemed to forget everything. When you awaken, we will find a haven no one else can find and quietly settle down. Wang Lin revealed a gentle smile. This very small desire was Wang Lin's biggest wish. The me from before didn't understand. But now I understand, Wang Lin muttered as a deep sense of sadness and melancholy was released from his body. Before, he didn't really understand the feelings between Zhu Yi and Qing Shuang. However, after more than 1,000 years of cultivation and endless loneliness, Wang Lin understood. It was a kind of spiritual hope, it was a kind of perseverance and struggle, but also a sense of unwillingness. Wang, remember that even if the heavens want you to die, I'll take you back. Wang Lin revealed a heaven-defying determination. Volcanoes were the one thing these planets that belonged to the Vermilion Bird Divine sect weren't lacking. These volcanoes were formed under special conditions, so thick magma would erupt from them very often. Every time a volcano erupted, the earth would tremble. The loud rumbling was earth-shaking. The black smoke filled the sky and lava rained down, making it look like the end of the world. The disciples of the Vermilion Bird Divine sect had seen volcanic eruptions far too many times. However, Wang Lin hadn't seen many. At this moment, muffled sounds came from the volcano he was on top of, and they became even more intense. However, Wang Lin ignored all of this. Right now Li Muwen was the only thing in his eyes. The rumbling from the volcano became even more intense. In the end, it was as if a fierce beast was roaring inside the volcano, and the black smoke rushed out. The smoke spread out like crazy in the sky, covering the red light from the sky. The entire earth was now in the dark. Shortly after, the roar from the volcano became even more intense, and soon, a ray of red light shot into the sky. A pillar of lava also shot into the sky. From a distance, this scene was very shocking. At this moment, Wang Lin was sitting at the mouth of the volcano. Some of the rocks on the edge were pulled into the lava and blown into the sky. This magma charged into the air right before Wang Lin's face, less than 10 feet away. The dense heat waves and magma charged out like a fire dragon and scattered everywhere. It was as if the world was collapsing around Wang Lin, but it wasn't enough to make him look up once. He just silently stared at the coffin and didn't seem to care at all. As the volcano erupted, the earth trembled and cracks appeared, and soon everything was covered in lava. As the earth trembled and the volcano continued to erupt, lava surged out from the opening of the volcano. The lava flowed down the volcano like angry waves. As the lava flowed, it soon covered the entire volcano and continued to spread. At this moment, lava fell like the rain and covered the ground like raging waves. The world was now black and red. The black was the dense, black smoke in the sky and the red was the river like lava. Wang Lin softly said, "Is this pretty?" This is the power of mountain crumbles. I have waited days for this volcano to erupt. Wang Wei, accompany me and witness as I comprehend Bai Fan's fourth spell. Mountain crumbles. Wang Lin muttered to himself as he looked at the lava falling like rain. At this moment, even more rumbling came from the volcano he was on, and it erupted again. The vibrations of the earth spread and caused another volcano in the distance to tremble. The distant volcano began spraying out smoke and lava. Wang Lin slowly closed his eyes, and the scenes of Qing Shui using mountain crumbles in the slaughter realm appeared in his mind. In truth, in the demon spirit land, Wang Lin had found a trace of understanding of mountain crumbles from the volcanic eruption there, but the feeling was weak. However, due to the dangers he faced, he didn't have time to think much about it. However, the one thing the Vermilion Bird Divine sect didn't lack was volcanoes. Now that he had more fire origin energy, he understood the mountain crumble spell Qing Shui had left him more and more. Call the wind, summon the rain, magic arsenal, mountain crumble, land collapses, dark moon, clear skies. These were the 6 great spells of Celestial Emperor Bai Fan. Wang Lin had already learned the first 3, and Qing Shui said that the latter 3 were far more powerful. They all contained heaven-shattering power. Mountain Crumble was the first of the 3 latter spells. The intent was to take the power of a collapsing mountain, but although it sounded easy, it was extremely complex. Mountains have souls, so if only the mountain crumbled but not the soul, then the power would be very ordinary. Only when both the body and soul crumbled could the power of mountain crumbles be displayed. In a place filled with mountains, one could use the power of mountain crumbles, but that was only the first step. The real mountain crumbles would be like Qing Shui used it before, where there were no mountains. To form a mountain with your divine sense and then inject celestial origin energy to form its soul. The power of mountain crumbles was when both the celestial origin energy and divine sense crumbled. Borrowing this power to integrate with the world and make those countless mountains real. Then the crumble would have the power of a heaven-shaking spell. The key of mountain crumbles wasn't the crumble of the mountain and its soul, or forming the mountain with one mind, or infusing it with celestial origin energy. The key was making it all real. How to make an illusion real, that was the focus of mountain crumbles. It was also the most difficult part. Looking at the eruption of the distant volcano and feeling the crumble of the volcano below him, Wang Lin opened his eyes. There was a hint of confusion in them. Wang, what exactly is true? What is false? No one could answer Wang Lin's question. He silently looked into the distance and he felt the fluctuations of the world and gradually frowned. How to make a mountain made of divine sense real, Qing Shui didn't tell Wang Lin about this. The comprehension Qing Shui had left with Wang Lin was also very vague. It seemed Qing Shui's intent was for Wang Lin to comprehend it himself and not pass it down as an inheritance. True. False. It is like life and death, karmic cause and karmic effect. Wang Lin closed his eyes and continued to think. The volcano below him erupted even more violently and caused even more distant volcanoes to erupt. In an instant, Wang Lin was surrounded by endless magma. Time seemed to last forever. After an unknown amount of time, Wang Lin opened his eyes, but they were still filled with confusion. He placed his right hand on the coffin and made it turn into a ray of light that disappeared. Wang Lin stood up and unexpectedly jumped into the mouth of the volcano. Dense magma spray out, but it wasn't able to stop Wang Lin. He quickly moved through the lava and soon reached the depths of the volcano. He sat down in the lotus position, then his hands formed a seal and he opened his arms. His eyes shined brightly and then he closed them once more. I don't care if it's true or false. If there is nothing true in the world, there is nothing false. True and false are just 2 sides of a coin, and they are linked just like life and death. If there was no life, then there would be no death. If there is no karmic cause, then there is naturally no karmic effect. Moji said earlier that all domains are formed by the state of my mind. Everything appears as we will it. The moment Wang Lin's eyes closed, all the fire origin energy inside his body charged out into the lava and slowly merged with the lava. At this moment, it was as if he was lava. After fusing with the lava, Wang Lin's fire origin energy spread out and began fusing with the volcano around the lava. Finally, he became one with the volcano too. This didn't end. As his fire origin energy spread out, the lava, the volcano, the black smoke, and all the fire origin energy had integrated into one. At this moment, Wang Lin felt an ancient aura from this volcano. This ancient aura was the soul of this volcano. When he felt the soul of the volcano, Wang Lin's origin soul came out and fused with the volcano once more. At this instant, Wang Lin felt like he was the volcano. The ancient volcano soul allowed Wang Lin to see various scenes when he fused with it. He saw a burning planet, and as the earth trembled, a mountain was gradually born. The mountain was filled with fire origin energy. As time passed, this fire origin energy became lava, and finally, when it reached a limit, the top of the mountain collapsed and dense lava gushed out. He saw how the volcano gradually calmed down after the eruption. How fierce beasts that could survive here came by. He also saw the vermilion bird divine sect disciples flying by. As the heat waves blew by, the seeds of some plants that could survive here flew by. Red grass gradually grew, withered, and grew again. This cycle continued for an unknown amount of time before the earth trembled once more and the volcano erupted again. Tens of thousands of years passed by Wang Lin's eyes in a flash. Wang Lin gradually forgot his origin intention and his identity as a cultivator. It was as if he had really become the volcano, become the soul of the volcano. The eruptions of the volcano were like him venting. At this moment, Wang Lin unconsciously gained enlightenment. I'm the volcano. My wrath is the eruption. With this enlightenment, Wang Lin's divine sense began to spread. Soon, all the surrounding volcanoes were within his divine sense. His divine sense spread out and fused with each of the volcanoes. Even more scenes filled Wang Lin's mind. He saw even more volcanic eruptions and felt even more of the wrath of the volcanoes. His divine sense slowly spread out until it covered all the volcanoes on the planet. At this moment, it was as if he had thousands of avatars, and each one of them was a volcano. This is, an elder of the vermilion bird sect suddenly opened his eyes with doubt. However, he soon looked at the volcano Wang Lin was at. It's the Divine Emperor. Although his aura was ancient, as an elder at the Nirvana Shatra stage, he was naturally able to distinguish it. However, he was still shocked. What shocked him was that although it was the aura of the Divine Emperor, it was very different from the aura of the little cultivator he remembered. Earlier, Wang Lin was mere a Nirvana Scryer cultivator that had cultivated for less than 2,000 years. Although this group of elders had acknowledged Wang Lin on the surface, they were a bit unwilling deep down. However, the aura felt so ancient that he felt like a junior before this aura. Horrified, the old man immediately flew into the air. He immediately felt that the 3 other elders on the planet had also come out. The other 3 were also shocked. Apparently, they had made the same discovery as the first old man. At this moment, all the members of the Vermilion Bird Divine Sect awakened from their cultivation. They could clearly feel that at that moment, it seemed like a very ancient divine sense had swept by. If that was it, it wouldn't be much. The 4 elders would have been shocked, but it would not affect them too much. However, what happened next made the 4 of them suck in breaths of cold air. This divine sense swept by and covered the entire planet. It seemed all the volcanoes on the planet had awakened and erupted at the same time. The entire planet seemed to be rumbling, and this earth-shattering sound replaced all other sounds in the world. At this moment, the ancient aura inside that divine sense increased greatly. It was as if the ancient auras had been gathered from all the volcanoes to create this power of time. The sky was covered in black fog and bright red lava flowed on the ground. At this moment, the expressions of the 4 elders changed greatly. All disciples of the Vermilion Bird Divine Sect immediately leave this cultivation planet, one of the elders roared like thunder. Soon, the Vermilion Bird Divine Sect disciples all flew into the air. The 4 elders also charged out while carrying all the people on the planet. Everyone was panicking, and most of them didn't know what was going on. The 4 elders' expressions were extremely gloomy. They were filled with dissatisfaction toward the new Divine Emperor that had caused this. However, right when their dissatisfaction appeared, that divine sense suddenly began to spread. It swept past the vermilion bird divine sect members and spread across the burning starfield. As the divine sense spread out, another planet was surrounded and fused with it. The ancient aura became even stronger. Many vermilion bird divine sect members also flew out from that planet in panic. As the divine sense spread out, all the cultivation planets began to fuse with it. As it grew stronger and stronger, an unimaginably powerful divine sense appeared in the burning starfield. All the vermilion bird divine sect members flew out from the cultivation planets. Big Head and others Wang Lin knew did the same. At this moment, a ripple appeared outside the burning starfield the vermilion bird sect was located. A person walked out. This person was an old man with white hair wearing a red robe. If Wang Lin saw this person, he would immediately recognize this person as Master Flamespark. The moment Master Flamespark appeared, another ripple echoed and another person walked out. The moment this person appeared, a cold aura spread out. This was a middle-aged man who wore a blue robe and was extremely handsome. However, his face was pale, as if he was dead. But the cultivation fluctuations from this person caused Master Flamespark's pupils to shrink. All heathens, Master Flamespark. The middle-aged man's cold gaze swept by. One of the corpse sect's 9 kings, I just don't know which one. Master Flamespark's voice was calm, but he stared at the middle-aged man. At this moment, all of the cultivation planets within the vermilion bird divine sect were enveloped by that divine sense. An ancient aura filled the entire starfield, and all the elders were greatly shocked. Although their cultivation levels were high, they couldn't imagine what spell this new divine emperor was cultivating to reach such a terrifying level. Even with their cultivation levels and insight, it was understandable that they couldn't understand the power of Celestial Emperor by fan spells. Wang Lin's divine sense originally couldn't cover this far, but at this moment, he had forgotten everything and became the souls of the volcanoes. He also fused with the souls of each planet and borrowed their power to spread out. That's how the current situation was able to occur. The root of all of this was still Celestial Emperor by Fan's Mountain Crumble spell. At this moment, Wang Lin's divine had gathered the souls of all the cultivation planets within the starfield. The ancient aura people felt within this divine sense made it feel like they would decay. At this moment, all the members of the vermilion bird divine sect, including the elders, were part of Wang Lin's divine sense. All of them could clearly feel this aura, and all of the elders were extremely shocked. The discontent in the hearts of the first 4 elders who noticed this had already disappeared and was replaced with the shock of what happened after. If there was no karmic cause and no karmic effect, then there would be no karma. If there was no life, there would be no death. Without life and death, everything would be eternal. If there is true, then there is no false. True and false are separated by just a thought. An ancient voice came from the divine sense and echoed in everyone's ears. So it is like this. It is just a thought. No wonder senior brother Qing Shui didn't leave any details. Once you understand, you understand. As the thought echoed, Wang Lin seemed to awaken. The moment he awakened, the burning starfield suddenly moved. The souls of the planets came out and all the volcanoes on the planets erupted at the same time. The eruptions of all the volcanoes in the starfield caused a thunderous rumble to echo across the starfield. It was at this moment that Master Flamespark and the 3rd king of the corpse sect stepped into the burning starfield. The moment they entered, the 3rd king of the corpse sect's eyes suddenly shined and were filled with disbelief. With his cultivation, he immediately felt that this starfield was covered in an unbelievably large divine sense. The power of the divine sense was so heaven-shaking that even he couldn't help but gasp. The way he saw it, it was as if he wasn't facing a person, but the cultivation planets that had existed for countless years. This ancient aura made even him feel like a junior. Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor. The first thought that appeared in the middle-aged man's mind was the vermilion bird divine emperor that he hadn't met yet, but he felt it wasn't right. From what Li Yingji had reported, the new vermilion bird divine emperor was someone that hadn't cultivated for a very long time. Could it be the old vermilion bird divine emperor? The middle-aged man's pupils shrank and he became very cautious. Master Flamespark's expression also changed greatly after he entered the starfield. He immediately felt the giant divine sense that shocked his mind. This is, Master Flamespark's eyes revealed unimaginable shock. In his view, the power of this divine sense couldn't be described in words. It wasn't something a cultivator could possess. The moment they felt this divine sense, Wang Lin naturally felt Master Flamespark and the middle-aged man. His divine sense suddenly moved toward the two of them. The movement of his divine sense causing a thunderous rumble to echo across the burning starfield. Master Flamespark, a message came from this divine sense and echoed across the starfield. Master Flamespark gasped. This divine sense felt familiar, and he even had a guess as to who it belonged to, but he couldn't believe it. His expression became serious. Your Excellency is? Vermilion-Bird Divine Emperor. Wang Lin's divine sense caused thunder to roar across the starfield. You're Wang Lin. Master Flamespark's eyes widened and the shock in his eyes became monstrous. Not only him, but the third king of the corpse sect was the same. This must be someone from the corpse sect. Wang Lin's divine sense slowly sent out a message. His divine sense stirred up the sea of flames and slowly surrounded the middle-aged man and Master Flamespark. The middle-aged man said, "This old man is the corpse sect's third king." Although he looked calm and it was impossible to see his emotions, the dread he felt from the Vermilion-Bird divine sect in his heart deepened. He originally came with the intent to observe the Vermilion-Bird divine sect, but now there was no need to observe. The middle-aged man clasped his hands and slowly said, "Few days ago, my corpse sect's junior, Li Yingxi, brought back a jade. This old man came to ask where the location of the thing recorded inside the jade is. If the Divine Emperor tells me, my corpse sect would be deeply indebted." Master Flamespark suppressed the shock in his heart and also asked, "Wang, Vermilion-Bird Divine Emperor. Li Yunzi also brought a jade to the Thunder Celestial Temple. My question is the same, where is the location described in the jade?" With Master Flamespark's cultivation, he was vaguely able to see some clues as to why Wang Lin's divine sense was able to become so powerful. However, a spell that allowed one's divine sense to merge so perfectly with all the planets in the starfield terrified him. The mysteriousness of the Vermilion-Bird divine sect increased even more in Master Flamespark's heart. "I can tell you the location of the place in the jade. However, it is filled with danger. Whether you guys go or not is up to you." As Wang Lin's divine sense echoed, countless specks of light appeared before Master Flamespark and the middle-aged man to form a star map. This star map clearly revealed planet Suzaku. After flashing for a few breaths of time, it gradually disappeared. Master Flamespark's eyes lit up and said, "Planet Suzaku." The middle-aged man smiled and calmly said, "Divine Emperor, you must have other plans if you're revealing such an important piece of information now. Everyone has their own needs. I'm mere borrowing a knife to kill the person guarding that corpse." Wang Lin sent out a message. There was no need to hide it from the corpse sect and all heaven. Good. The Divine Emperor is indeed candid. My corpse sect will agree to this matter. The middle-aged man didn't expect Wang Lin's answer to be like this. After laughing, he looked at where Wang Lin's divine sense was coming from before clasping his hands and leaving. Master Flamespark pondered a bit. After the middle-aged man left, he looked at Wang Lin with a complex gaze and sighed. "I underestimated you. I didn't think. Wang Lin, forget the fact that I'm the master of the Thunder Celestial Temple and you are the Vermilion-Bird Divine Emperor. How did I treat you?" Wang Lin pondered a bit and sent out a message. "Not bad." Master Flamespark's eyes narrowed and he asked, "You are indeed being truthful." "Wang Lin, I just want to know if what you said in the jade was true, or are you not sure?" "Senior Master Flamespark, I won't deceive you. The information in the jade is true." Master Flamespark nodded and no longer spoke. He clasped his hands and left the burning starfield. After both of them were gone, the divine sense that surrounded the entire starfield collapsed into countless pieces that dissipated within the starfield. The parts that belonged to the planet's souls all returned to their respective planets. When the divine sense collapsed, it affected the origin energy in the starfield and shocked all the Vermilion-Bird divine sect members. The volcanoes had stopped erupting on the planet Wang Lin was on. Inside the largest volcano, Wang Lin slowly opened his eyes. His eyes were very bright, and the light penetrated the lava inside the volcano. My domain started with the life and death cycle and later evolved into karma. Now, borrowing the comprehension of mountain crumbles, I caught a glimpse of true and false. With a thought, my karma domain was complete and has broken through the Nirvana Scrya stage and entered the Nirvana Cleanser stage. My domain also evolved into true and false due to comprehending mountain crumbles. This true and false is different from illusions. This is a grand Tao. Wang Lin stood up and with one step ripples appeared in the lava. The next instant, Wang Lin appeared outside. He looked at the world and gradually smiled. Nirvana Cleanser. Wang Lin took a deep breath, and he could clearly feel the difference in his body. Before, the fire origin energy inside his body had reached a limit, but now, with a thought, all the fire origin energy around him surged into his body. As the origin energy rushed into his body, Wang Lin's right hand reached out and a crack appeared before him. This crack wasn't stable when it appeared, it seemed like it could break at any time. However, endless origin energy came out of Wang Lin's hand and charged into the crack. It started to expand, and popping sounds echoed inside the crack. The space inside the crack became larger, and as more origin energy went inside, it became more stable. Finally, it reached a limit and it became stable enough that it wouldn't easily collapse. There will be no need to use a bag of holding anymore. Wang Lin smiled as he slapped his bag of holding and everything inside flew out into the crack. Soon, the bag of holding was empty, and Wang Lin rubbed it between his hands to turn the bag into dust. His right hand pointed at the crack to leave behind his divine sense imprint. Then he waved his hand and the crack closed and disappeared. Just at this moment, Wang Lin's expression changed and his eyes became cold. His entire person became cold. He took a step and appeared in the sky. He saw a mosquito beast struggle to fly toward him. The mosquito beast was completely purple, but it was covered in blood. It looked very dispirited and was obviously seriously injured. If not for the single thought of returning to meet its master, it would have already died. In particular, there was a hideous wound on the mosquito's back that emitted green gas. Even its long mouth was broken. When the mosquito beast saw Wang Lin, it let out a mournful cry and flew toward him. Wang Lin's right hand hit the mosquito beast's back and the green gas dissipated. Then his left hand reached at the void, causing a crack to appear. He immediately took out a large amount of pills to feed the mosquito beast. At the same time, his divine sense went into the mosquito beast's mind. As he searched its memories, Wang Lin's expression became gloomy and a monstrous killing intent erupted. They are causing death. This video will end here.